I swear on my life, I saw him standing there watching me, and his eyes did not move. Not once. Not even when the fire swallowed his brother whole. It started when I was just a boy. I worked in the palace, running errands, fetching water, and keeping quiet when the grown-ups spoke. Everyone feared Prince Azan. He was the firstborn, but no one wanted him to be king. Not even his own father. There was something wrong with him. He never laughed, never cried, never blinked. His younger brother, Tunda, was the true heir. The people loved Tunda. He was kind, strong, and had a way of making you feel safe. But Azan was a shadow. He walked like a man who had no weight, no soul. And when he looked at you, it was like he could peel back your skin and see what was inside. One night, I woke up to screaming. I ran outside and saw the royal hut on fire. Tunde was inside. The king and his guards were throwing water, trying to break the door, but the flames were too high. No one saw Azan standing in the dark, watching. No one but me. I don't know why I looked at him just then. Maybe I felt it, some pull, some whisper in my bones, telling me where the real danger was. His face was still, his hands by his side. The fire lit up his eyes, but they did not move. He did not blink. Tunde's screams stopped, and the fire ate everything. The next day, Azan was named heir. The king wept, but the people knew. We all knew, but no one dared say it. Years passed. The king grew weak, and Azan grew stronger. People went missing. First servants, then warriors, then chiefs. I knew I had to leave before he set his eyes on me. The night I fled, I heard footsteps behind me. Slow, steady, I turned once, just once. And there he was, standing, watching. He did not blink. I ran until my feet bled, until the kingdom was nothing but a shadow behind me. I do not say his name aloud. I do not speak of him at night. Because sometimes, when I wake in the dark, I swear I can feel it. That stare. And I know, somewhere, he is still watching. I never stopped running. Even when my legs begged me to stop, even when the air burned in my lungs, I kept going. Because I knew if I slowed down, if I let myself believe for 1 second that I was safe, he would find me. For months, I hid in villages far from the kingdom. I told no one my real name. I slept with my back to the wall, never near a window. And yet, every night, I felt it. That feeling of being watched. Then, one evening, an old woman in a marketplace stopped me. Her face was wrinkled like tree bark, her eyes cloudy but sharp. "You run from something," she said. I shook my head, tried to walk away. "He does not blink, does he?" she whispered. I froze. She grabbed my arm, her grip like iron. "You can run, but he is not chasing you." I swallowed. "What do you mean?" She leaned in close, her breath like dried leaves. "He does not need to. He already owns you." I yanked my arm free and left, but her words stayed. That night, I dreamt of the fire again. Tunde's screams, the crackling wood, the heat. But this time, when I turned, I saw Azan standing in the flames. He did not burn. He did not move. He just watched me. I woke up sweating, gasping for air. My hut was dark, the only sound my own heavy breathing. But then, tap, 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 fingernails on wood, slow, rhythmic. My heart stopped. I turned my head inch by inch toward the door. A shadow stretched underneath it, motionless, waiting. I did not move. The tapping stopped. The silence stretched so long I thought I had imagined it. Then, "I see you," a voice whispered from the other side. Flat, emotionless. I did not blink. Neither did he. I stopped breathing. The voice was dry, hollow, like wind whistling through dead trees. I wanted to believe it wasn't real, that it was just my mind playing tricks on me. But the shadow under the door didn't move. It just stayed there, waiting. I reached for the knife under my sleeping mat. My fingers shook so hard I almost dropped it. Then, scratch, scratch, scratch. Nails dragging across the wood. Slow, deliberate. He was still there. I forced myself to move, inching back until my spine pressed against the farthest wall. If I was going to die, I wanted to see it coming. The door creaked, just a little. Not opening, just bending under pressure. He was pressing against it, testing it. I gripped the knife tighter. My heartbeat thundered in my ears. Then, just as suddenly as it started, silence. The shadow under the door was gone. The air felt lighter, but not safe. Never safe. I sat there for hours, knife in hand, waiting for the sun. When it finally came, I forced myself to check outside. Nothing. No footprints. No broken branches. No sign that anyone had been there at all. But I knew. He had found me. And worse, he had let me go. Not out of mercy. Not out of kindness. He wanted me to know there was nowhere left to run. I did not run again. What was the point? No matter how far I went, he would find me. No matter how many doors I locked, how many nights I spent awake, he would be there, watching, waiting. Days passed, then weeks. I forced myself to act normal. I worked in the village, kept my head down, spoke little. But at night, I felt it, that weight in the air, the knowing. One evening, as the sun bled into the horizon, an elder sat beside me by the fire. He had seen many seasons, his face carved deep with time. He studied me in silence for a while before speaking. "You look like a man carrying a ghost," he said. I forced a chuckle. "I don't believe in ghosts," he smiled, not kindly. "You should." I swallowed. My hands felt cold despite the fire. What if the ghost is not dead? The old man poked the fire with a stick, eyes distant. "Then it is worse." I waited for him to say more, to tell me what to do, how to make it stop. But he only stood, stretched his bones, and walked away. That night, I did not sleep. I sat in the dark, knife in hand, staring at the door, waiting. He did not come. Not that night. Not the next. Not for a long time. And then, just when I started to believe, just when I let myself breathe again, I woke up to find the door open. Not broken, not forced, just open. And on the floor, in the dust, was a single footprint. His, and I knew then, in the deepest part of me, he had never left. He had just been waiting for me to forget. I never saw him again. Not with my eyes. But that doesn't mean he's gone. Because sometimes, late at night, when the world is quiet and my thoughts start to settle, I feel it. That stare, that presence just beyond my sight, waiting. And I know, deep in my bones, he's still watching. And one day, when I least expect it, when I have finally let my guard down, he will come for me. And this time, he won't let me go.